So everyone should have their computer, their weekly scholastic news. You should have your Post-its and you should have a pencil. Does everybody have all the materials?
Yeah.
Okay, so looks like we're ready to go. So right here I have our objectives for today's lesson. Can someone read that for me? Ruben? Okay, so what does this mean to us before we get started? Because this is going to guide everything that we're going to do. What do you think we're going to be doing? Okay, so did everybody hear what Ruben said? Ruben said we're going to be making connections between the text and things that we've learned or things that we've seen before. Have you used that skill before?
Yeah.
When have you done that before? Yeah. When we read our social studies textbook, when's another time that maybe you've done that? When you're doing read to self, right? So this is going to fall into that same type of activity, except we're going to be doing it in a group and we're going to be talking about it together, okay? Now the second part says ask questions, all right? You do that too when you're reading that textbook and when we're doing read to self. So these two items are things that we've been doing all along, right? And so the whole point of doing this, what's that going to improve? What skill? Comprehension. And Michelle, what's comprehension? Yeah, when you're so it's going to help you understand what you're reading. Okay. So for right now, we're just going to kind of put our computers aside because we're going to come back to that later. It's fine if you want to open your magazine on top of it, but just know that we're not going to use the computers for a little bit. What I want you to do is I want you to open to the story that's called Hot Shots. Okay. And already we can kind of use some of our nonfiction strategies before we get started, right? What are some things that you're noticing before you even read the paragraphs and the words? What are you noticing about these pages in the article? Yvonne, is there something that you notice that's going to help us understand it? You see lava, you see it in the picture, right? So is that telling you anything right away? Yeah, so already Yvonne sees the title of Hot Shots and he sees lava and he knows we're going to be learning about volcanoes. How did you know when you saw the lava that we would be talking about volcanoes? Yeah, and we've learned about volcanoes, right? So we're making a connection between that. What else on this page is probably going to give you some information about what we're going to be reading about? Hold on, ladies, do you have any ideas? Because I feel like Ruben's been answering a lot. Oh, so Ruben is seeing that there's some lava that's already erupted here, and you're saying that's going to turn to rock. Now I'm reading this caption, and it says the grassy area in the background was a meeting place. So there's a little caption explaining it, but it doesn't say anything about it turning to rock. Ruben, how did you know that this lava is going to turn to rock? So you could see it, and what else helped you know that? Right? And we talked about in science, so Ruben's using some of his background knowledge. Remember how we talked about the rock cycle and volcanoes? So you're using some of that background knowledge, okay? Are we ready to get started?
Yeah.
Okay, so as we read, I'm going to be making some connections, I'm going to be asking some questions, but I want you guys to chime in when you think of something. If you have a question that you want to ask, if there's a word you don't know, if you're like, I have a prediction to make, or you have connections to something, okay? Does that sound good? Okay. Do you want me to start reading and then maybe we can take turns reading a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys like that, don't you? Alright, so Hot Shots. Photographer G. Brad Lewis gets up close and personal with America's most active volcano. And I like that you're following along with your pencils. It's a really good strategy. On January 3rd, 1983, a powerful force of nature was on full display in Hawaii. The volcano, now I'm coming to this word and I'm not quite sure how to say it, but if I look after the word, I see that they've spelled it out phonetically. So I know it's Kilauea. So I can go back and I can say Kilauea. The volcano Kilauea had started erupting, shooting fountains of liquid rock into the sky like fireworks. And that's kind of what, remember when Yvonne was looking at this picture? That whole paragraph right there is kind of describing what he already noticed from the picture, right? Okay. A river of red-hot lava began flowing down the volcano's slopes. Photographer G. Brad Lewis was there to see it. Wow, okay, so I'm going to stop for a second because I'm thinking about what it would be like to be G. Brad Lewis. Oh, okay. So Ruben, you think it might be dangerous? And you're saying because you saw videos? Where did you see those videos? When we were doing science? Okay, so that's a good connection to something that he had already learned, right? What else? What else are you guys thinking?
It might be cool because you can see it in action.
Yeah, you're not just sitting in a desk watching it on the active board, right? You actually get to see it in person, so it would be kind of cool, but you'd have to be a little careful because it might be dangerous, right? All right. Does someone want to read the next couple paragraphs there? Won't say one, you go ahead and read.
I was amazed at the power and beauty he said. Once I experienced and photographed moving lava, I was hooked. 30 years later, Colombia is
Very good.
still erupting, and Louis 54 is still taking pictures of it.
Okay, hold on a second. So I'm already thinking. Okay, you have a connection or a question? Yeah. Okay, so Yvonne saw the word hooked when it said, where did it say that again? I was hooked.
Yeah.
He said he was amazed, like he really liked it a lot. So Yvonne made a connection there to a synonym so he could figure out what hooked meant, right? And so one of the things I'm thinking of is that it's telling me right here that this volcano has been erupting for how long? 30 years. How old is your teacher? My entire life it's been erupting. Is that a long time?
Yeah.
That's a long time, right? Wait, are you calling me old?
No.
Okay. So 30 years later it's still erupting. And I'm noticing here it says Lewis and then it has that number behind it. Why does it have 54 behind his last name? His age. So if he's been doing this for 30 years, it's been erupting for 30 years, how old was he when he started? 24. Is that a long time to be doing this?
Yeah.
So that kind of goes back to your point where he must be amazed and he's totally hooked on doing it because for so long he's still taking pictures of this same volcano that's erupting. Yeah, he's very trained in what he's doing, okay? When you relate to what he's saying here, it often sounds like being by a jet engine. Is that, have you ever heard a plane before?
Yeah.
Especially in this area, right? The airport's right over there. Like when those planes are flying pretty low, it's really loud, right? So that's the kind of sound that a volcano can put out. It's kind of wild, isn't it? It's pretty loud. Okay, does someone want to read the next part? Yep, and make sure you're reading the heading too. Hold on, isn't that what you said it might be? Dangerous? What I want you to do now is I want you to take your computer and I want you to pull up Edmodo and make sure you're logged in. You guys all have enough space?
Yeah.
And you can use this article to help you when you're answering and responding to the questions that I have on here. Let me know if you're not able to log in. Everybody's on there? Okay, so you should see that I've sent you a message here, and it's called Lava Land, which matches the article here, okay? So what I want you to do is it should say take the quiz, okay? You're gonna click on that. And what I have is just a few short responses where I want you to kind of think about some connections that you made while you were reading, and also some space to ask some questions, okay? Because I know some of you were actively participating in that, but I think some of us maybe didn't get a chance to share. So I really want to know what each of you were thinking when you were reading that article, okay? And so if you click on that, I think, well, before you do that, you see how it says 4 questions?
Yeah.
So you're going to have 4 questions to answer. And if you read through my directions that I left you, it says all the questions in this quiz are related to the article Lava Land. Please write your answers in complete sentences. Do we remember what our complete sentences need to have?
Yeah.
Yep. Capital letters,
Punctuation.
punctuation, and what else? What do we need to do when we read through our sentence?
Make sure correct.
It makes sense. Do you remember this?
Oh yeah.
Okay, from our printed marks? Okay. Also, it says use your best spelling. It's okay if you misspell something, but try your best to spell correctly. And it says use lots of details in your answer. So if you're making a connection between something you did outside of school or something in class, you need to tell me exactly what it was and tell me exactly what you connected to in the story. Does that kind of make sense to you guys?
Yeah.
Alright, so you can go ahead and, are there any other questions before I let you get started? Okay, and they're gonna go in random order. So you might have a question pop up and it might not be the same one that you get, okay? So are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, and most importantly, Kevin. Do you need Kevin? Kevin? Kevin, can you grab your spelling and open that? But I like that Monse has her article open and she's referring to it as she types. You guys sure you have enough space over there? Cause I can move and you can move around the table. Would that help, Michelle? Why don't you grab your computer and come sit in my spot, okay?